What's up, Warriors? Welcome back to the Path of a Warrior podcast. My name is Dean McBride, your host, and I really hope you enjoyed last week with Coach Kyler Kennedy because we've got another special episode in the works. For week 2, we've got the woman we call the director of volleyball, our indoor and beach volleyball head coach, Liz Salas. Coach Salas, how are you feeling today?
Good. Just had a recruit on campus, practice today, so it's a good day.
Awesome, yeah. So before we get into all the recruiting and the current stuff, obviously, as you know, this is a faith-based institution first. So just kind of like run me through your faith background. Like, did you grow up in the church? Did you meet Christ later on in your life? Like, what's up?
So yeah, I did grow up in the church. I still attend the same church I grew up in as a kid. And I would say my faith really came about when I was in college. Growing up, it's always like, I knew I loved the Lord, but I was always like, oh, is it because my parents, believe in it? And then I went to college, and I feel like I went to Concordia in Irvine, and I really feel like it just helped strengthen my bond and that, like, understanding that, the Lord chose me. And so I would say that's just really where I solidified my faith.
That's good. So, going into more of your coaching career, was coaching always the dream for you?
No, it was not. So I originally wanted to be a psychologist. I'm very much I just love helping people. And then in college, I had a professor let me know that psychology would not be for me because I tend to take on people's feelings so much. And he said it would just be probably too hard of a profession for my personality type.
Yeah, of course.
And then coaching just kind of fell into my lap. My mother had a longtime friend that was a coach at community college, and so she gave me a volunteer assistant position, and I just fell in love with it.
That's good. So that switch happened after college or during college?
It happened after college. I actually got my master's degree in coaching and athletic administration, thinking I maybe would become an athletic director one day.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I fell in love with coaching, and I don't really see myself ever doing anything else.
Nice. So obviously this is going to be your second year at LPU. What kind of brought you here?
Honestly, I feel like it was God, and it's just because so many crazy things happened.
Of course.
I was at a different university. We played LPU in a preseason match. I came to the campus, and I was like, wow, this is beautiful. Talked about how great the school was, and then, left and didn't really think much about it. And then my husband and I got married. We decided to move to San Dimas because it was close to family. Didn't really think about LPU being here. And then, I'm not even kidding, one day I was just driving and I was like, oh my gosh, LPU's right here. Went home, told my husband, and I was like, if that job ever opens, like, I'm applying. And then I want to say 2 weeks later, it opened up.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I really feel like it was like, I was like led to be able to come here.
That's a good background. So we'll kind of get into like what's going on right now. So obviously your team's had a lot of success. You took over a team that made the playoffs twice in the past 3 years, and then you brought them back to the playoffs again. Like, is there any pressure that kind of comes with that? Like, seeing that most of our other sports haven't had as much on-court success as you guys have had?
I don't think it's pressure, outside pressure. Honestly, I have to say that it was the team. I believe with the group of girls we had were just such a special group that they united and really played as a team. We didn't have someone that was like, oh, we're just a superstar. It was like every day they had to play hard together. And I feel like the school just supports us. I don't feel like there's unnecessary pressure. Now I personally put a lot of pressure on myself, but I don't feel like other people do. I just feel like a tremendous amount of support.
Of course, yeah. Well, even with this team, you guys only retained 4 players from the year before, and you brought in literally 12 transfers and 5 freshmen, and you continue to have that same on-court success. How important is it to create that kind of culture within the team?
For our sport specifically, culture is very important. Our sport is an intense game of keep the balloon in the air, and so it's a lot of communication, getting along, and so I would just say that it was something we worked on every day, and it was a goal for the girls that they always wanted more, and they knew that in order for us to get the more, we had to find ways to get along and love it together.
That's good. Is there a difference comes with coaching indoor versus beach volleyball? Which one would you, not that you would say you're better at, which one are you more experienced in?
I would say there's definitely a big difference. Yes, it's a similar sport, but they're very much 2 different sports. The rules are different, the relationships are different, and everything like that. I would say indoor volleyball, I would technically have more experience. I played club volleyball, high school, won a national championship in college. But beach volleyball, that was a sport that I really, really loved. but unfortunately when I was going into colleges, it wasn't a college sport yet. So I would play in adult tournaments in the summers. I was a part of junior nationals where I won junior Olympics as in high school. So I would say, like, looking at my resume, yeah, I do have more experience in indoor, but it's just partly because of my age. I would have played college beach volleyball.
Of course, yeah. Going back on recruiting, you said you literally had a recruit in today. How important is it that you get like good recruits in the building, get the kind of girls you want?
I would say it's very important. I mean, just bringing in girls who, you know, first of all, like we love the Lord, we want to grow in our relationship, where if we're just starting or we've been, you know, in a relationship for a long time, so that would be the most important thing. And then, you know, just bringing in girls that just have a want and a desire to grow in their sport and have a desire to, like, you know, win, but it's not always like we have to win the match, it's like, do we win the day? Like,
of
we're
course.
doing our best.
That's good. So those are like the kind of players you're looking for, players who like want to get better and want to like succeed. That's good. So obviously, like I said, you kind of had a lot of on-court success, at least your first year you've had a lot of on-court success. Like, what's your vision for the future? Like, do you see that kind of same success happening, or do you just see like, what do you see in the future for this?
I mean, once I started coaching, I always envisioned if I was able to coach, you know, at an NAIA school, because that's what I played, that I could give girls the same experience that I had. And so I would say the vision for the future for this program is, you know, on either side is, can they have an opportunity to make playoffs, you know, and that's also something I don't want to have it be the most pressure, because at the end of the day, we can't control who other schools recruit. But for me, the vision of the program is that, you know, we're always in contention for playoffs. And then for beach, I would really like us, we're in the toughest conference in the nation.
Yeah, of course.
So I would really like us to kind of break through and have an opportunity to, if we can't make the conference tournament, miss it by a spot or two.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, there's always going to be some sort of like development with the team. I mean, whether it's on the court or off the court, you know, you always just want to see like some form of development. Yeah, all right, well, I think that's all the questions we have for this week. Thank you, Coach Salas. Thank you, viewers, for listening in. Next week, we'll be interviewing LPU's newest head coach, the men's soccer coach, Dalen Parker. So you guys should be tuning into that. If you guys have any questions for Coach Parker or any other questions for Coach Salas, please leave them in the comments. And as always, it's a great day to be a Warrior, so let's go Warriors. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.